Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. It's your girl Beloved and I'm back with a new recipe for the channel. Beloved Catering Service is a business where we make all kinds of cakes, butter cookies, shortbread cookies, coconut biscuits, sugar cookies, brownies, ring donuts, meat pies, samosas, spring rolls, and all kinds of fruit drinks and fruit juices, especially sobolo. We also make all local rice dishes and Ghanaian authentic dishes. We cater for all events and occasions and any form of gatherings. You can contact us with the information provided on your screen. In today's video, we are baking a white cake. This is a cake that derives its color basically from the egg whites of the egg introduced into the batter. Here, egg yolks are not used. Ingredients for today's white cake include 300 grams of all-purpose flour, 25 grams of cornstarch, 2.5 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of powdered salt, 1 tablespoon of white vinegar, 110 grams of vegetable oil, 115 grams of butter, 1 cup of white granulated sugar, 4 room temperature eggs, 1 tablespoon of vanilla essence, and piping tip, a piping bag, offset spatulas, a serrated knife, a cake board, pearl sprinkles, among others, for cake decorating. Before that, I would be very happy if you could subscribe to my channel right now and then turn on your post and notification icon so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video onto the channel. And please share my videos with your friends and family. Please subscribe. Let's get started. Today we'll be using 2 8-inch baking tins. So to start off, grease the baking tins with the homemade cake release. A recipe to that is already on the channel, which you can check out, and I'll link it in the description box below. Ensure both the bottom and sides are evenly coated with the homemade cake release. After that, pick up the bowl containing the milk and then introduce into it the white vinegar. Use a spoon to combine the milk and vinegar together and then set it aside. Afterwards, pick 2 bowls and then the eggs. Since we'll be using only the egg whites, we would have to get rid of the egg yolks. So in this part, the separation is being done. That is separating the yolks from the egg whites into 2 separate bowls. And this is a very complicated process which, not done properly, could result in some of the yolks getting into the egg whites, which we don't want in this cake. So you should be very careful at this stage. Just be slow, gentle, and well calculated on which bowl is containing the egg whites and which bowl will be containing the yolks. Otherwise, if you forget, you are going to mess it up. Now let's move on to the mixing of the dry ingredients. Into the bowl containing the flour, add in the baking powder, the salt, and the cornstarch. Then with the aid of a spatula, combine all these ingredients together until everything. Now set it aside and then pick a bowl for the mixing of the cake. Add in the butter, the sugar, and the vegetable oil. With the aid of a whisk, combine these 3 ingredients together until very light and fluffy, and there are no visible sugar granules in it. When the mixture becomes fluffy, begin introducing into it the egg whites in 3 batches as you mix under 3 minutes burst for each addition into the batter. Now add in half of the milk and vinegar mixture. Mix it with the whisk into the wet ingredients. Now add in the vanilla essence and combine it with the rest of the ingredients in the bowl with the aid of the whisk. Now add in the dry ingredients, meaning in halves. So you add in the first half, mix it with the spatula, and then add in the second half to ensure everything combines perfectly. At this point, you should be very gentle to prevent any gluten from forming in the batter, which will make the cake tough in the end. Now add in the rest of the milk and then mix it with the cake batter being made. After all the mixing is done, to obtain this silky smooth and luscious batter, pick up the baking tins and then pour into it the cake batter. You could also measure it out to know the exact quantity of each cake batter in the baking tins, just like I'm doing in the video being displayed. Bake the cakes at 160 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes or until a toothpick comes out very clean and with no sticky cake particles on it. Let's move on to the decorating of the cake. This is the setup we'll be using today. It includes the cake, the turntable, the cake tools which will be used in decorating, and my perfect American buttercream as well. To begin, tear or cut some of the solution tape onto the middle part of the turntable to secure the cake board. After securing the cake board, remove the cakes from the baking tin which was used in refrigerating it, and then remove the cling film from each of the cakes before assembling it. Remove the cling film around the first cake layer, place it onto the cake board secured with some of the buttercream underneath, and then place onto the cake board the cake layer. Now use the serrated knife to trim off the top layer of the cake. This is an optional step, but I prefer trimming off the top layers to give it an even coating of the frosting. Now smear some of the frosting onto the cake layer on the cake board and then cover it nicely with the aid of an offset spatula. After covering the surface of the first cake layer with the frosting, take the second cake layer and then unwrap it from the cling film. Now place it on top of the frosted cake with the bottom part facing upwards. You could also trim off the top part of the cake. Now scoop some of the frosting onto the second cake layer and then use the offset spatula to spread it on the top and sides of the cake to form kind of a crumb coat around it before the rest of the frosting is done. This is done to trap any crumbs that may come off as the frosting is ongoing. After crumb coating the cake, clean off any particles or smeared frosting on the cake board before the second frosting process is done. I'm doing this to prevent any crumbs from getting onto the final frosted cake. Now apply the second frosting onto the crumb coated cake with the aid of the offset spatula. Ensure that as the frosting is being added onto the cake, every uncovered part is well covered with the frosting. Now use the offset spatula to smoothen out the frosting around the cake. Do this until a very smooth looking frosted cake is obtained. Don't forget to tidy up the top portions of the cake as the other sides are covered. This is basically smoothing out the top side of the cake. And this is how it looks after it was crumb coated and covered the second time. Now pick up the piping tip and then place it into the piping bag. With the aid of the spatula, scoop some of the frosting into the piping bag and then push it to where the tip is, which will be used in the piping. Now push out the frosting to come out of the piping tip and then begin piping swirls onto the top parts of the cake as you prefer. You can do as many as you want. And this is how it looks after the piped frosting on the top part of the cake is done. What do you think, guys? Rate my design in the comment section. Was it good, or you think there is more to be added next time? Just let me know. In this portion, I'll be adding onto the top parts and the pipe part of the cake some of the pearl sprinkles. These sprinkles are very little, and with a glance from afar, they look like glitters. They give it a very nice touch. So that's what I'm doing now. And guys, here you have it, our white cake, well decorated and covered. Now let's slice into it to see how it looks actually on the inside. And this is where today's video ends. Thank you so much for watching. Make it a point to watch our new videos this and every Thursday and Sunday for wholesome content and amazing recipes you can try with your friends and family. This new year, I'll be very glad if you could try any of our recipes and then give feedback on it in the comment section. Also, please subscribe to my channel, turn on your post and notification icon, and then share my videos with your friends and family. Let's all join hands and make this channel grow. Till we meet again, dear viewers. Bye bye.